Okay, here we go. Now, I've realized I've got to start this with something I can eventually use for the thumbnail. So let's try that out. Well, we'll see. Hopefully one of those works and I can take it from the top and it shouldn't be too bad. I literally can't look at myself while I do that. So, here we are. Hello, everybody, and welcome again to Art of Evan K YouTube channel. I'm looking forward to sharing more of my artistic inspirations and doing another selfie draw over with you today. This is the practice that I do of taking a selfie of myself and adding some things to the foreground, background, and changing it up a little bit to try to make it a little bit more interesting for me anyway, and hopefully for you too. So let's get into it. As always, I'm going to take you through all the boring steps. The fun part of the beginning, just creating the canvas, getting all of the pieces together. Here's the last one I did. I always like to copy the frame back, bring it in. I'm actually getting kind of fast at this part, which is nice because it's the part that is the least interesting. Although I will admit that I actually kind of really like doing those things at the very beginning of an artistic process that require you to do just the prep work, you know? I actually kind of really like doing things that have to do with like if I'm doing a comic book page, I like making my own margins. It's probably like the least interesting thing to do, but I feel like it prepares me a little bit more, and I don't know, I like it. Okay, so first things first, let's get the selfie we're going to be using today. I think that here's the three I took. This could be fun. It's like coming in from a different angle, but I know how to work with this one the best. So let's do this guy. Yeah. Can I send this directly to Procreate? Well, I'll add the photo first and then do what I gotta do. Insert photo. Access. Oops. That's not what I meant to do. That's an old one. Whew, things got real boring. I don't know why it's not letting me go in there automatically. That's not usually a thing. But here, we'll just take this. And you know what? Let's see if it does this at all. I kind of like to have the original in there just for funsies. Well, it must have just imported it. All right. The background's not all that interesting anyway, so let's just get going with adding this in and seeing where it takes us. All right, so as usual, gotta set myself up for success, put myself in a way that seems to make sense, frame myself out a little bit. And of course I want to give myself a little room for things to be, give myself some headroom and all the fun things. Yeah. Now the fun begins. What to put on the back? It's usually at this point that I just start babbling about my life to try to get some sort of inspiration or something. Oops, let's get a little bit over here. Yeah. This one definitely looks like my hair is giving problems to the image, which is fun. How do I address that? Let's do mask and erase and do really soft brush. Hello. Uh-oh. Oh no, I'm worried that my pencil... Oh, no, okay. It just needed to get connected. Let's get back into it. Are we working now? Yeah, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right, let's get some of this out of here. Again, as I always say during this introduction, I'm not going for perfection in these. In fact, this is more of a place to experiment, to have fun, to try something new, and to make it okay with screwing up a little bit. So I'm going to do that. I'm also realizing that in the world of YouTube, maybe I should be mindful of when I swear, which is a tough one, but I'm going to give it a try. Let's see if I get through this one without swearing. It'll be a fun... I like when, you know, artists give themselves some, you know, you can't censor yourself too much, but some self-imposed guidelines or rules certainly go a long way. All right, so that's good enough for now. That makes my hairline look a little bit, well, my hairline is this, but you know, the top of my head, whatever. All right, so what's going on here? We've got, well, what's going on in life? I'm feeling, I have this kind of sense that I want to do something with clocks, because recently I have been feeling very much like I'm imposing my own time limits on things and thinking about time and tracking my time, which is both good and bad, right? It's good in the sense that it kind of keeps you on track and keeps you productive, but productivity, we all know, can be a bit of a trap. Or if you don't know that, hopefully I can be the first person to introduce that kind of idea to you. Usually like to bring in a reference piece. Let's do Dolly The persistence of memory. Yeah, the world's most famous clock painting. Why not? I did this last week where I took a Tamara de Lempicka painting portrait and used it as a kind of master study reference, which was sort of fun. So let's see if this helps inform me in any way that can be helpful. The persistence of memory. Well, first, let's play around with the background color. What's it feeling like? I always love a light blue, but doesn't give me enough contrast here with my beige jacket. So let's go darker and let's try some palettes. Maybe I'm not feeling any of these yet. Let's try a classic. Just move the hue palette around. We're obviously working with beige and green with the clothes that I've got on, so maybe there's something to that. Maybe we just go real normal with it for now and build off from there. We just go with a nice sort of something that gives contrast to the beige again, but something in the brown register, but very light. Ooh, that's not good yet because it's too much pink. But it would be good for it to remain light because of that bloom behind my head. Honestly, blue is working here. Blue is working pretty well. So I'm gonna go with blue to go off of this. Yeah, light blue and this beige always go well together. It kind of gives you that, I don't know, American tourist vibe, which is not always what I'm trying to go for. But you know, screw it. This is just experimentation time. So, okay. And this is going to be our pencils as we figure out what we want to do. Just keep it black. This would be a good time to keep the frame on because I don't want to go outside of that too much. Okay, let's make it a little warpy. Now let's have this point back at me, always fun. Arrows I'm a big fan of, always. And, you know, I'm not going to get into melting clocks, but maybe we can do kind of fun elliptical circles. Play around with some basic shapes. This feels like it really ought to be more canted. Yeah, it's kind of in contrast. And does that go behind me? Maybe. I don't want to have two overlapping things. Actually, there'll be another one coming off from the left side of my head. That'll be better. Okay, Let's get this inner part going. Ooh, it kind of looks like a ring, like Sonic the Hedgehog, my favorite. I don't care if people make fun of me. I still love Sonic the Hedgehog. I still love Sonic the Hedgehog. And you know, that gives me the idea that these should be kind of Sonic ring colored, actually. I think with this beige and baby blue composition we got going, it'll look nice with a big gold thing to it as well. So this is probably, yeah, just fill in the space a little bit. Ooh, attention to detail. I cannot tell which of these is the hour and which is the second hand on this clock in particular. So that might be considered by some to be a shortcoming, but I will change that when it's necessary and not before. This is one of those things that I try to get more into, and I actually think, lucky for me, I'm kind of naturally okay at this, which is this idea of like trying to focus on the big picture first. I know that I'm just drawing clocks right now, but like you have to experiment. And that's actually kind of funny. But my point is, it behooves us all to be mindful of the whole picture, as opposed to getting so bogged down in details that you missed the forest for the trees, so to speak. Uh-oh, why is this? What's going on, man? Okay, hang on a second. This is so weird. Why does my pencil keep detaching? Not a fan. And it might have to do with whatever magnetic situation is going on. Okay, let's try this again. So now we're on, I'm just going to call this foreground clocks. And we'll call this BG clocks. Okay, foreground clocks. I'm wondering if it's interesting for this to be here. Is it better if it's coming up? No, I think flat goes with my look a little bit better. Now, I don't know. There are probably other muy professional illustrator artists who would look at what I'm doing and being like, all you're doing is getting bogged down in details. So, and if any of you are out there listening and watching this, then please comment. I'd love to know more. What the heck is going on? Ooh, technical difficulties abound. If I have to keep doing this after every stupid thing I do, it's going to get very annoying. Okay. Hopefully it's just a thing with the magnet on the back that keeps screwing it up. I haven't had this happen before, so it's worrying that maybe my Apple Pencil and iPad are getting old. Let's get me out of the way for a second, and because sometimes, especially if you're a digital artist, I'm realizing it pays dividends to prepare to have your artwork to be able to use the assets that you create for multiple things. Doesn't always have to be the case, but imagine if I wanted to use this selfie doodle not just for what I'm using it for, which is a post with a picture of me in it, but maybe I want just a cool background with some clocks. And if I like this and I've completed the clocks in the background, it might be more useful in the future. So I also realized, here's a little insider knowledge into the branding, my thinking on that. I realized saying it out loud and seeing it put in, written out, that selfie doodle could be misinterpreted. And I don't know if I want that. So I think I'm going to call these selfie drawover videos. That's probably a little bit more better. It doesn't sound like some kind of activity. I don't know. Maybe I've just got a dirty mind and I need to get my head out of the gutter, but I couldn't help but notice it as soon as I said it out loud, and I can definitely think of a few friends who would point it out to me with merciless ribbing. So let's take care of that. Okay, got some clocks. Let's see where it looks like with my face again. Not too shabby. Where should this clock handle be? No, just one. Again, man. Yeah, we'll do that. Get rid of me again. So this is probably good for the middle. I swear to God. Again, if this keeps happening, I'm gonna get really frustrated. And maybe this will be a shorter video than normal. Okay. So we got these. Let's go back to our big picture and see what else we can do. So we're working with simple shapes, and I'm liking the idea that these get bigger the higher you go. So let's do something like that. I'm trying something different over here, you guys. Yeah, this can still be a background clock. I'm not that worried about it. Ooh, and maybe this one is like teardrop shaped. Wow. And we will do a big one up top because big is fun. Let's get that even wider. Needs to be I'm gonna fight through this. I will not let this pencil disconnecting all the time get me down, because I have put aside the time to do this now, and I'm gonna do it now. Wow, but this is literally after every other stroke disconnecting. This is so crazy. What's happening? Yeah, that's fun. But that, I think I actually want to be the yeah, we'll get this squared away. Okay. I think it's probably okay if you don't see this in the square version of the image. Well, that lasted a little longer. It's nice. Okay. All right. Here we go. Just making some clock handles. Okay. I'm going to get rid of this for a second because I got to try something totally different, guys. This will come back in a second. I don't know if it's the case that's doing this or if it's something else, but taking the sucker out of its case, at the very least, it'll make it easier for me to reconnect the apple at a pencil at a moment's notice. All right, here we go. One more time. Is that copyright infringement? I hope not. Nope. Come on. Get a little more bend to it. You got this. You got this. You got this. It turns out it's really hard to make things when the tools you're using aren't working. Nice. Okay. That's great. Let's merge down. Great. And let's give this guy a little, should be skinny. Oh, and let's make it smaller again, since this is a small boy, a little kid. This also looks a little bit like mirrors, maybe. Perseverance, that's what it comes down to. The fact that this Apple Pencil is not working concerns me, mostly about the life and long. But maybe I'll have to. Wow. This is. Exactly as much as you think you can. Yes, I think this week, okay, reference has used up its foreground clock. These clocks ain't gonna have numbers. Not at this rate. Not at this rate. That's fun. I should three-dimensionalize these arrows to make it really fun. But and bring it down again. And I want to have a good attitude for you guys, but my pencil's making it hard on me.